like it?
Welcome back to episode 3 of your favorite podcast, Church Culture.
With us, our very own special guest again, Manuel. Welcome back for the third time.
Fidencio.
Fidencio.
I feel like he's part of it, though. You don't gotta say special guest.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Baby said yes.
We've made you part of one of the hosts.
Means I don't have to be here.
No. See, that's what I say.
We have a gun to his head. Anyway, there's not really any structure to these, so we're just gonna talk.
About.
I had a topic, but I don't know if it's too complex.
Go.
Like heaven. Because I was asking him, like, hey, do you think people are still married in heaven? But then we looked it up in the Bible, like, well, no one. But it only says you don't get married in heaven. So are people, you know what I mean?
Man, you take it away.
Because y'all know more Bible than me, so I don't know. I was just curious.
What do you think?
Or what were you saying? No, you started.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
I guess what I just said, but you thought yes. I thought no.
That people are married in?
Yeah, people that are married here, when they die, they still stay married up there.
I heard of what happens if they got
If they got divorced and
well, not just that, what happens
what?
if they're widowed and they remarried?
That's the verse I talked to him about in Matthew or something. Like she had like 7 husbands, like cause she widowed and then she married the brother, and then that's what they asked, whose husband will she be in heaven? And
Yeah, that's when he's like,
Jesus like, you won't be given to marriage, but that's different than already being married.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I heard of the hermano talk about how it might be marriage, but maybe in the 1,000 years. Then after that, there won't be marriage anymore.
1,000 years
Because
in heaven?
we're going to still be procreating. Remember at the end when God comes? Okay, it's still not over. Technically, we still need a lot more to go. The earth is going to be redone and all that, and then we're going to live
True.
here for 1,000 years. There's going to be nations, and we're still going to be procreating.
Oh.
So,
I didn't know.
are we going to be married then? Or are you going to, and it's hard. What happens if your wife or your husband didn't want nothing with the Lord?
Yeah. Then you're not.
So, will you have concubines?
I think that's what the verse was saying. You don't be given into marriage. Like you don't start a new marriage in heaven. That's what I read it as.
Only if it's like a family thing.
Yeah.
never
Like you don't
know.
date in heaven. Like I think that's what it was.
So you're going to be given a partner?
I don't know. Like,
That's
can
the
you stay
mystery.
'Cause
single?
that's,
You know?
that's, what do they call it?
arranged marriage.
Like, is that his plan for everyone to be married up there? I don't think so. So
Well-
then it's
well,
just
that's
easier to
different.
not be married then.
You're saying heaven up there, but in the 1,000 years we're going to be here. We're not going to be in heaven.
Right.
So there's the two different things. In heaven
But
and
aren't
down
we
here.
eventually gonna be here on the new earth, like you said? Like
It's
that's
1,000
Yeah, for
years.
1,000
But after
years.
that, and then everything changes.
what happens after that.
Nobody knows.
Oh.
Well, it's going to be the great judgment. Remember, that's when God finally judges everybody. That's when there's the
Oh.
second, when he throws the Antichrist, the devil to the Lago de Fuego. And that's something way different. That's what the Bible. The judgment day, it's not to
Oh.
that.
Oh, it's not when Jesus comes back.
No, he's just gonna. All that's gonna happen, but the final judgment day is after the 1,000 years. Because remember, the devil, he's just gonna be chained up. He's not judged yet.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back, and then after that, God's gonna judge everybody.
Oh, I
And then
thought
he's
it
gonna
was
judge the devil, and then after that,
interesting.
so we still need a lot more to go. We're in this phase. We're not even in phase 2.
Yeah.
Phase 3 is a whole different.
Yeah. Oh.
So just imagine, we're still gonna be in this universe,
Mhm.
but after that, maybe maybe he'll destroy the universe and start something
Make a
different.
new one.
Multiverse.
Yeah. Because he says he'll make a new heaven and new earth. So Oh, I didn't know.
So I don't
Good
know.
to know.
It's interesting though.
Yeah, I was just curious. We can talk about something else.
Well, all right. Thank you for coming. Oh, that is interesting because then, yeah, it'd be weird with the different families. So maybe, man, I don't know if it's wrong to say, but maybe it works out in a way where only the people who are going to be up there married are the ones that survived or got saved, and the other ones didn't.
No, I don't think so. He's not gonna condemn you for not getting married. That's not like a sin.
Yeah.
No. For, like, let's say you and JP get married, one of you dies, and then, but then someone remarries, but then the other person wasn't saved, so you still go up there and you still end up with JP, and then the other one doesn't.
Well, that's his fault then. The
Yeah,
second
but
one.
that's what I'm saying, that it'll work out that way to where y'all still end up together.
But what if the other person does it?
Yeah,
That's the thing.
that's the
Yeah.
paradox right there.
Duke it out in heaven or what?
That's why I think there's just no marriage. It's just easier to not be married.
Because isn't it like the renewing of our minds, and we'll be like brother and sister?
I think so. But it's hard. Like, wouldn't I? He's not gonna erase my memory of him.
Probably will.
You think so? But then, how will we know? Oh, that's like when we see Dad. Oh, that's my dad. How is he gonna
No.
erase that memory?
No, so that's when we get to the gates. Everybody will be there, but to be let in, you'll be renewed. I don't know.
Or maybe he's not gonna make us forget our memories. Maybe we just become like Vulcans. We lose our emotions because maybe that's what gives us our sin. Meaning that.
Well, yeah, he has to, right? Because we can't sin up there. That's
Like
impossible.
desire, you mean?
Yeah, and all that because remember how people didn't know what the desires were or whatever. Remember when Adam and Eve, they had no
Mhm.
idea on
What
so
sin
none of that.
was? Yeah,
Mhm.
And
they
till
were
that
naked.
happened,
Yeah,
and then that's when they started noticing things. But what happens if God takes that away? Where He takes that feeling away. That's what the sin is. It
yeah.
wants you to have
I think so.
things like that. You know what I mean? It gets
Yeah.
your mind corrupted.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think JP had something to say. We stopped him.
You said we can't sin up there. You think we have free will in heaven?
Ooh, good point.
The
I
devil,
think.
the devil had free will. Look what happened
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
he's an
In-
angel.
in heaven.
But he was in heaven either way.
I think the renewing of the mind will bring us back to what Manuel said, back how Adam and Eve were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think about sinning, and the devil isn't up there anymore to tempt you.
Right. He's.
And
Yeah.
I think the difference is now that we're actually choosing here. You know what I mean? We're
Uh-huh.
here, so we can choose whatever we want. If we choose God, I think He'll help us get through that. Where we're not gonna be like the devil no more.
There won't
Right.
be any temptation.
Yeah.
Like, because the devil's in hell, like he. Or whatever.
Well, yeah.
or,
and
I don't know.
Yeah, and not just that. I just think we're not gonna. What were we talking about?
Like, we're just not going to want to. Like you said, I
Sin.
think he's going to, just take it away. I don't think he's going to take away, oh, you were my brother. He's not going to take away my memory. I think we'll still have memories. We just.
You know, it would be crazy.
don't
What
know.
happens if we get to heaven, and eventually God has this world, this timeline where we can come as we pleasing. You know what I mean? Like when we're in
Mhm.
heaven, like have it like a museum.
Oh, of
Let's
our
go see
lives.
what happened of yeah,
Kinda
I would like that.
Kind of like Interstellar.
something like that, but something more.
You know how Interstellar, he was looking in the 5-dimensional world.
Yeah,
He was looking into the past.
but not
when
just
he-
that. I mean, meaning that we can walk through. Like just imagine like if we're like in a VR, so we're just there
Oh,
walking
okay.
around, but we're actually there. Like God allows us to be there.
Yeah.
We're watching like a recording. He lets you see what.
I would
Well,
like
That'd be
that.
pretty cool.
Well, I mean, if I'm not saying we're gonna be like God, but God has the ability to be in all times.
Yeah, all places, at
Yeah.
all times.
He probably sees it like a movie where he can rewind and fast forward, and he can be there.
I see him as he's like this is the universe, and he's outside.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
that's
and
what I
this
mean.
is like the beginning. This is the end.
Yeah.
And he's just looking. He's just seeing everything at once.
At once, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy if you think about it.
That's
Like
true.
it makes. If you think about it too hard, it feels kind of crazy that the future, the past, and the present, it's all going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm. For
'Cause
him,
that-
yeah.
Because the future already happened with John. What did he? I want to know, what did he see? If God brought
Yeah.
him to the future, did he see the planes? Did he see the cars? And when
Yeah.
Daniel, remember when Daniel was shown the future, he got like all scared and he was like his mind couldn't cope with. I wonder if that's what it was when he said that he got he got weak. He couldn't like everything. He was just weak. Like he was just like he couldn't. My thinking, I wonder if God showed him the future and he was like, "What the heck is this?" Like
Yeah.
his mind couldn't cope with what he was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of. I think I heard it this week, or somebody say that the sharks don't know that kangaroos exist, and so you live in your world, and like you were saying that John was shown the future, and Daniel, like they probably don't even know what any of this stuff means.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just see it, and in their limited world that they can interpret, they start seeing these things and they don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
They can't say it's a building, they just say they just describe it in their own words.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's just weird though. It's like awesome. Like when you think about it, like the time.
But also, like, imagine if we were given like that chance to look into the future. Like, it'd be so different. Like, we wouldn't even know. We could only use our language and our experience to interpret it.
Yeah.
Well, it just depends what kind of future. If God allows us to be here longer, or if this is already the end.
Yeah, but then again, like in the 60s, whatever,
Only if you're talking about maybe the 1,000 years era when everything may be different,
maybe.
and then you can't explain what the heck. You know what I mean? What happens?
Mhm.
What happens if it's actually like Asgard, or these places that you see that you see like pictures online where they do like renderations of there's a globe or like a big spear and you see like the city like that. Looks all
Oh, yeah.
futuristic. Are we gonna be like that with God? Are we gonna be able to it's gonna be like the future? Because remember, we're still gonna live and work the same. Because remember, it says that we're gonna have to go to Jerusalem every year for the festival, and if you don't go, the rain's not gonna fall on your crops. So there's still gonna be like people not wanting to go. But is that the people that are with God, or are those the people that stay behind, that survive the tribulation?
Mm.
Because who's the one that's gonna rebel? Is it going to be the Christians that got saved, or people are going to stay behind, and those are the people that are going to procreate and that go against God when the devil comes out and lies to them again? So we're going everywhere. I'm sorry.
I need to read more on that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway,
Thought?
None.
Do you think we'll eat in heaven?
yes.
I hope so.
It says about that tree that gives a fruit every month, a different fruit every
Oh,
month.
yeah. But I want like a burger.
Brisket. So that means killing a cow.
I was gonna say that. Do we eat meat?
I don't think so.
Do dogs go to heaven?
They better.
They do.
Well, you want that, but
Well, I
do
don't
they
think
actually
these
do?
dogs, but I think God will have animals up there. Probably. Maybe the lion and the lamb, so maybe animals. It's going to be like when the Garden of Eden. It's just going to be like out there. They're going to be nice.
Yeah.
So maybe. I don't think like your actual dog spirit's going to go up there. But
That's what I'm saying. The better question is, do dogs have souls?
Yes.
maybe they have souls, but they won't be saved.
So if
True.
let's play devil's advocate. Let's say they do have souls.
Do they have to repent to go to heaven?
No, not
Oh.
that. But why would God give a soul to a dog for it not to go to heaven or hell if it was a bad dog? Like, would the soul just aimlessly wander?
But why would you think he has a soul?
Because what's the definition of the soul to
Are you
you?
thinking because like they dream and stuff like that?
They do dream.
They do
Yeah.
dream. They do understand some sort of logic.
Mm.
I hope they do.
Well, think about it like this. If all the people who have ever lived, let's say hypothetical, the earth has been around for 1 billion years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say there's been people since the beginning. How is everybody going to fit in heaven?
You haven't seen.
Just hypothetical.
I
In
just
heaven
thi-
or in
I
the
just
new
think of
earth?
space and galaxies, and I'm like, I can't even put my head
Okay,
around
so that brings up another good question. Since Earth is only limited to the people that are here, will other planets be used to hold other people?
in the 1,000 years.
Whatever.
I wish that would be awesome. If you think about it, if we lived in Mars, if God actually had that, and you had to come,
Habitable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, we can't all fit in unless he makes the earth bigger.
Or flat.
well, remember there's gonna be a huge earthquake. The
Oh.
everything's gonna be shifted.
That's
I don't
true.
even know if there's gonna be a ocean anymore. I thought I
All
remember-
land.
I think so. I think it's gonna be all land.
Well, then
And even there's not gonna be no sun, because God, He said He's gonna be the
he's
sun.
the sun. Yeah. No night either, right? Just.
Yeah, this day.
So do we sleep?
No, because we don't need that anymore. Like God didn't sleep. The people with souls don't sleep.
So many questions.
I know. See.
I think. Nah, I'm for sure that I don't think anybody sleeps.
I think we do.
So
I don't know.
Isn't
I'm open to it.
Could it be that the renewing of the mind could be similar to resetting, for instance, a SD card? You reformat it and it just clears out.
No, I think it's gonna be where we're at a throttle and He's gonna let the throttle go. Like He's throttling on His back, and after that we're able to.
So you think what people say or scientists say about we only use 10% of our minds?
I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm pretty sure God has a throttle on us, and eventually when you go to,
You mean like a governor,
yeah,
right? That holds only limits you to a certain
Yeah.
amount. Okay.
Hmm.
Because I think if He make you see everything or everything, you're just gonna freak out.
Have you seen that movie Lucy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. That the mind's capable of so much, but God's, how you say, governing it and limiting it because you wouldn't be a good member of society or whatever, or you'd be going crazy because you have the power.
Problem. JP looks like he knows. He has something in his mind.
No. It was just blank.
So do you think the earth is flat?
No.
Yes.
You think so?
No.
There's
I have
a-
no idea. So I'm just-
There's evidence. There's biblical evidence too.
There's no biblical evidence. There's biblical evidence that it's round, and it's held by a thread.
New Jerusalem is a square, right?
Huh?
New Jerusalem. Look at Revelation. It gives you the dimensions. It is
Mhm.
perfect.
But
But remember, everything's gonna be different in the new time too.
But okay, answer this: why did the ancient civilizations, when they drew their concept of Earth, why was it flat?
Because they never saw it. They never knew it.
how could it be flat though? Like at the end of it, you just fall off. Like, do you just fall into darkness? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like that's why I'm like, I don't think it's flat.
Especially with all this technology, somebody who already, it's just too much technology for somebody to be lying. Either Russia that hates America or China that be like, they'll be the first ones. Look at America, they're lying to you. Look, we got the evidence of this. Why would you even believe that?
Yeah.
There's
No,
there's
but-
other countries that would easily use that against us, or North Korea. Like yeah, they'll be like, "What are you why are you attacking us? You're a bunch of liars too." Okay, we got the pictures of Earth and all that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think.
I think it's just a conspiracy theory, but I think that world leaders, somehow get this talk or this talk where even if they have like a hint of or a thought of maybe this being true where it's flat, that other people control this universe, whatever, I think that they get to talk and say, you're not going to say anything because we're going to expose you, we're going to make you look stupid, this stays a secret and you can't say anything to anybody.
I can see it.
I can
Mhm.
see that, but I see that with other things. I see that with history. I see that by them holding maybe. I think there were giants back then and they're skeletons, but they're hiding them.
Yeah.
I think there's other things like that that they're actually doing, but I don't know about the flat Earth. But I do believe that though, what you were saying. But another
What
thing,
was that pilot in World War II?
the Philadelphia experiment,
I don't.
they went
It was
back in time.
It was like a general. No, it was like a general that his crew flew down to Antarctica, and because I don't know what they were doing about, but it was during World War II, I think. And they were flying, like I think they were like in combat or something, and then they just kept on flying to escape the enemy, and they were down in Antarctica, and that they kept on flying, and then all of a sudden they passed this threshold, and it was like this paradise world.
Mm. So
that
they
really
lived
happen?
to say it? They came
Yeah,
back?
he kept on saying, but nobody believed them.
Do you believe him?
I don't know, I don't know. It's just something else to think about.
There are restrictions in Antarctica.
Yeah, you can't go past the
I believe there's something going on in Antarctica. I do believe that, but I don't know if it's what hurt. But I do think there's something going
Is
on.
that
down there.
threshold heaven?
Oh
Well,
no, I don't think.
I don't know, but I think
It can't be that easy to get in there. So no.
No, I'm pretty sure it's heavily guarded by either the world police or somebody, whatever. But from what I saw, according to they showed like a map where it kind of showed us in like a flat Earth type, and we were in a circle surrounded by ice, and then outside of that ice was another piece of land. It's like a loop, like Loop 410 and Loop 1604. It was kind of like that. Like in between the loops, there was the land and stuff. And so our Earth is like inside Loop 410, and then once you go past 410, just as a visual, right?
Well, what happens? Are you sure it was an article and they didn't just see Argentina or Chile?
No, they were coming from there to Antarctica. They're going into Antarctica.
Okay,
Going
so they were
down.
coming there. They saw the ice and then they came.
Yeah, they went through something, and then on the other side it was just a paradise, like if you're going to a beach or something.
Well, you think there's portals in the Earth?
Maybe,
They got a lot of.
maybe.
Because haven't you heard the Philadelphia experiment, or when you hear about the Bermuda Triangle?
Oh yeah, my mom's scared to
Oh, yeah.
go there.
Yeah,
The
she's weird.
Bermudas.
Yeah, maybe,
Uh-huh.
but I think it's probably like a magnetic field of some kind, because they also have that in the. I don't know if you ever heard of the Skinwalker Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
There's just this big magnetic field that disturbs everything that flies through there or any type of electronics.
Mm.
But then there are also like cattle that are castrated and sucked dry within minutes.
Well, what happens if they're getting close
Aliens.
to the South Pole and their compass just went nuts? They thought they were going south when they're actually going north or something.
Could be, yeah.
Because it's
Yeah, you're probably right.
down there in the south, so something happened with the.
But it's weird because he also said that they turned back. So wouldn't that go back to Antarctica?
Or
Yeah.
somehow they were doing like a loop, and they didn't know.
Yeah, but they would say that they'd be going in circles.
But you never know what happens. What happens if they think they're going straight, but the compass is playing tricks on them? So as they're going one way, it's kind of tilting. You know what I mean? So they're going like in circles, thinking that they're going straight, and then they come back and it's tilting back the same way.
No, they weren't following a direction. They were evading the enemy.
Uh-huh.
So they're not following the compass. They're just trying to get away. So they're flying away.
I don't know. That's
Mhm.
hard.
I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. But like, I wouldn't be like if I was evading. I don't know. It's just me. If I was evading the enemy, I wouldn't be following my compass to go south or north or wherever I was going. I'd just be evading.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What happens if they're not even paying attention? So how do they know? I'm not gonna lie. I got lost in the city before.
Yes, but you also know if you're just going in circles.
No, I got lost where I don't know how I ended up in Flores once. That I thought I went this way, and somehow I came. I thought I was like on Roosevelt going this way, and then I ended up on Flores. The next street that came up was Flores. I'm not gonna lie to you. That happened to me once, and I was like, "What the heck just happened?" I'm on this street thinking I'm going this way. I'm gonna hit Roosevelt, and somehow I come over here, and I hit Flores. And I'm all like, and me and myself, I'm like, what the heck happened? And I had a few of those, so sometimes I think, I don't know if it's just maybe we're not paying attention.
Maybe.
But that me happened once when I was coming from the hotel. I was coming, you know how we take Roosevelt, and then somehow I don't know what I did. I got lost, and you would think if I took it, I'll be coming this way, but no, I was coming this way or something like that. And I was like, what? I don't know. I was like really confused.
But I think there's a difference in knowing where you're going and getting lost, because you might have done it a couple times, and then so you're just an automatic. You autopilot, and you're just going. So I can see how you could get lost doing that, but that's different than evading at the enemy and just trying to get away.
Yeah, but I don't think they're paying attention where they're going.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
You're
saying.
just
Like,
driving and then.
and so as far as he knew, they were heading to Antarctica. After that, they just came out to some paradise.
What happens if they're doing all that and then they just, I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, I know what you're saying, but how is it like right away into a paradise? Because Antarctica and Argentina aren't so close. You have to travel pretty far to.
Oh, it was right after the.
Right.
What happens if there's another island that they haven't
Maybe.
picked up?
Maybe. I'm just the messenger here.
Oh, I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate.
Yeah, I get that.
Interesting.
So maybe that's where no.
That can't be heaven though.
No, I think
He's not gonna make it that easy to get in. It's outside of this world for sure.
Yeah.
You've seen Lost, right?
No.
I need to rewatch it.
Lost is when the airplane goes to like this portal. It's kind of like Wonder
Landeliers?
Woman. Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
Remember in the beginning he gets into kind of like that, where they discover this new world.
Yeah.
Maybe, and maybe the thing that you said portals could be that thing where. But then how did he get out? I don't think I heard him explain how he got out.
Yeah. Probably just turned around.
Probably.
It's like the Landeliers. Have you seen that movie? The old movie?
No.
You never saw the Landeliers?
Mm.
What? They used to pass on TV when we were young. Yeah, I never saw those. I think it's a book by Stephen King. It's pretty cool. Pretty creepy. Not creepy, but just weird. Something like that. They're on the plane and then they go through a portal, I guess.
Oh, remember that one we saw? The cave one?
Which one?
Like where time freezes?
Oh yeah, that movie. Yeah.
Have you
on
seen
Netflix?
it? Was it Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Netflix.
I've seen it, yeah.
Time Trap or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Saw it?
I know it's
Crazy.
Yeah.
The Fountain of Youth? Or the Fountain of Healing or something?
Yeah, the
Healing.
Fountain of Youth.
But
Yeah.
God could do whatever He wants, and you never know what could happen.
He
Because
is created.
yeah, because remember when He tells that other guy, if I wanted to live forever, what is up to you? Just follow me. But it says, of course, God wasn't meaning that, but He told him, if I wanted him to live forever, what's up to you? What is up to you?
Well, didn't you? I heard you say that once, that there may be someone who is still alive. From
Maybe.
Jesus
Well, God
years.
mentioned it Himself. That doesn't mean He told him that he was gonna live forever, but He did mention it. He goes, if I want him to live forever, not to die, what is it? What is that? What is that to you?
What does he tell it there?
To Peter, because he's mad because he's telling John. He's talking to John and them, and then Peter gets kind of mad. Well, because he tells them how he's gonna die, right? And then so he goes, well, what about this guy? And he goes, well, what is up to you? If I want him to live forever or whatever, what is up to you? You just follow me.
Yeah, like don't
And
worry
then
about him.
Yeah, and then the narrator says, well, he wasn't meaning forever, but he was just telling them, you know. You've never seen the verse?
Maybe. Just some music while Manny looks for the verse.
So while he looks for it, why was it that in the beginning these people lived hundreds of years? Why was it? Because of what happened again?
I think it was for procreation.
Yeah.
Because after a while, God said you're only gonna live to, what was it, 120 or something?
But why?
And I think he did that too because how can you procreate in 100 years? You start with Adam and Eve. Of course, they're gonna have to have sons and they're gonna have to get married. There's no way you can do that. You gotta live for a few thousand years to get people in the humanity going.
Yeah.
If everybody's living for 60, 50 years, let's just say like now, how are you gonna get a full civilization?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So how did we get like all these different like ethnicities, like Asians, like?
Well, people migrated.
But there isn't. I guess I don't know. You know what I mean? I told you this.
No, I heard this theory that when God created Asians, he sent them away, but they were looking at the sun too much. That's why their eyes are squinting.
Maybe.
Yeah, this podcast is not going up. We're gonna get taken down by our Apple overlords.
You can just cut that part out. Oh, I found the verse.
Okay.
It's John chapter 20. Oh, 21, 19 or 20. It's the last chapter of John, verse 20. Peter turned and saw the disciple who Jesus loved was following them. This was one who had leaned back against Jesus at the supper, and he said, "Lord, who's going to betray you?" When Peter saw him, he asked, "Lord, what about him?" Jesus answered, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? You must follow me." And then because of this, the rumor spread among the believers that the disciple would not die. But Jesus did not say that he would not die. He only said, if you want him to remain alive, I'm a terrible reader. If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is up to you? This is the disciple who testifies to these things and who wrote these things down, who know that his testimony is true. And yeah, it's just
John what?
John 21:20, or you can go to 22. It'll just work quicker. Abraham's a better reader. He'll read it.
So John 21:20.
Oh, like that Adele
22.
movie, Adeline. Remember, she never dies.
Oh yeah.
Remember the voice?
You can go to verse 22.
Chapter 21. After this,
Oh, even better. You could have done 21. That was good.
Because I read my Bible on 2x.
2x.
It's way
I
too
mean
fast.
1.5. Sorry.
Still too fast.
I do that on one podcast.
I do one.
I do
one.
I do 2x on podcast, especially Joe's because it's so long.
Yeah.
All right, I'm starting off at 20.
Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias, and he revealed himself in this way. Simon Peter, Thomas, called the twin,
Seems like a perfect segue for the FUD report. Take it away.
What is FUD up to now? What are FUD's thoughts of the day?
When Peter saw him, he said to Jesus, "Lord, what about this man?" Jesus said to him, "If it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? You follow me." So the saying spread abroad among the brothers that this disciple was not to die. Yet Jesus did not say to him that he was not to die, but, "If it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you?" This is the disciple who is bearing witness about these things, and who has written these things, and we know that his testimony is true. Now there are also many other things that Jesus did. Were every one of them to be written, I suppose that the world itself could not contain the books that would be written.
It would have been a great read, though.
Like the fact that Jesus might have been married.
Oh, what do you think about that?
No, you're talking about the Apocryphas, aren't you?
No, not Apocryphas. Those the Apocryphas.
Because it says in the Apocryphas that he had a wife.
No. The Apocrypha is basically just historical books of the Bible that the canon of Scripture back in the olden days deemed that they weren't needed, which
Yeah.
they really weren't.
I'll take a little bit more of the Book of Enoch, even though it's not. I'll take a little bit more light on that one than the rest. But
Is
Have you
the-
read that one?
yeah, I
have
can't
you
remember
have
exactly.
you all read the Gospel of Mary Magdalene,
heard of
Jesus'
it.
supposed wife?
I heard of it, but I haven't really read it.
He thinks he was married to
I
her.
think she was married
No, I don't think so.
because listen to this. The Bible says that Jesus experienced everything we experienced,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when we get married and we're praying to God and like, Lord, what do I do with Steph? She's doing this, and that in marriage. God's gonna be like, oh, I don't know. I didn't experience that. That's all you, boo. Sorry, know what I mean?
No,
So
but I think
if God was here and He fully experienced the human life for so He can know
No,
what it's like.
But I think he experiences it with spiritually, how we are. Because remember when you go to the Old Testament, he told that to that disciple. What is it, Amos? He goes, I'm gonna show you how I feel. He makes you get married to a prostitute. Remember, because he said his people. So he says we're his wife, and how, when we don't listen to him,
Oh, yeah.
so he
yeah,
doesn't have to be married. Like remember, he was already feeling it. So he was trying to show Amos, the prophet, how he
Uh-huh.
felt. So he goes, I want you to marry a prostitute and this and that.
Uh-huh.
And he loved her and all this. And then he goes, at the end, you know what I mean? What do you say? Get back with her or something? And he really loved her.
Uh-huh.
He goes, now you know how I feel.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I don't think he needs to get married, because he already felt that. He was already telling the disciple to do it because that's what he felt. So I don't think he needs to.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
It's
I think so.
convincing though. Like
I forgot about that.
who was the last one at the foot of the cross? Mary Magdalene. Who did Jesus appear to when he first rose? Mary Magdalene.
Well, maybe it's just a way to be like, to not just bring down the women, like they're essential. Not meaning that they're not the leaders, but they're also not like they were essential in
I hope the
Like that.
pastor doesn't listen to this podcast.
you know. Well, because remember, Paul, he didn't get married either,
Yeah.
so not everybody gets married.
Yeah.
And he told people not to get married. Well, he recommended. He didn't say not to get married.
Yeah, it's
but-
like you said last week. It's not if you gotta be about that life. You can't just not get married and fool around. Like if you're gonna do that, just get married.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
You gotta be about that life.
yeah. Or you gotta just be a person that maybe some things don't work, and that's pretty much it. And I'm pretty sure that's what probably Paul was, because he said he had that dawn. So, but,
Yeah.
but that's what I thought about when you're talking about the marriage thing. That's what that came to mind. That almost,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Well, all right.
so that sounds like
What's your FUD report?
What are Fudd's thoughts today?
We can end with that.
I guess. So
You actually have one.
no, I have no idea. But the only thing that comes to mind is the end of Title 42, and now all these illegals
Aliens.
are coming into the country.
What do you? Aliens.
It's time to call Mueller and Scully.
Have you seen the reports coming from Brownsville and El Paso of when the illegals cross? They're leaving literally all their wet clothes alongside the border or everywhere in town, and they're just doing their thing. Like they've declared a state of emergency at this point because it's getting bad.
yeah.
I was telling them earlier that the airport is basically a little village. The airport smells
Here in
Horribly.
San Antonio.
here.
Wow.
It is horrible. You got people taking baths in the restrooms and the sinks.
I'm so glad I'm not a bus driver anymore.
I used to live there when I was at downtown working at that place.
Bad.
It's like always, they could have done better.
It's only gonna get worse.
Yeah. They're just doing it the wrong way. And then the thing I hate, everybody just blames the U.S. and this and that, but nobody's blaming the governments of these countries.
Oh, they don't care.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, especially people here, they easily just blame the Republicans or blame this and that.
You know why they're doing it? to get more
Votes.
votes.
Yeah, but
well,
like the
no,
people.
not the votes because they can't vote, but they're doing. The issue is that
Simple.
representatives, the Congress, the congressmen are elected because in their district,
Population.
if there's got to be a certain amount of population of people so that there can be a representative. And so if there's a lot more people in that city or district, whatever, they have to make another district. And so that means another representative. And so typically the border towns districts are always Democrat.
Of course.
And they're always Democrat because the Democrats promised them
free.
free entry into the country, which is horrible. And I'm not saying anything bad about the Mexican people because I'm a Mexican. I was born there. But
You're an alien.
because
He came the right way, though.
our family did it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right that people just are let in just because.
Given a cell phone.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Stipend.
The thing is, they should have. My mind went blank. What were you talking about?
Okay.
Aliens.
Illegals.
No, how we were saying that our parents, they had to sell everything, and these guys just come in and get everything.
Well, they get a tablet and a cell phone courtesy of the U.S. government.
Who pays for it?
We do.
We the people.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, we the people pay for it.
And the thing is, like, I don't blame the people themselves. I blame the government, and nobody talks about that.
yeah.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
who votes for the government?
No, I'm talking about their government too.
Yeah, but
because the
because this is the land of opportunity, and we say that we are accepting people to come into our country.
I feel like we could have done that legally because we need a lot of people. Yeah, we could have done that where we can bring all these people to work and have like a program where, you know, there's a lot of jobs we need. Bring these people, kind of vent them in, give them like a 6 month where they got to renew them every 6 months to a year. Give them up to maybe 5 years. Maybe they can get the residency if, you know, they have no criminal record. And then maybe after that, you know, maybe after 15 years, 20 years.
You know who's doing that?
Cool.
Florida. They're coming up with this thing called E-Verify.
It's not Florida. It's I'm surprised Florida doesn't have it, but Texas does E-Verify. E-Verify's been around for a long time.
What's that for?
It's basically it's run by Homeland Security. It's the making sure you're documented. You need a social security number to work.
Yeah. Well, I only say Florida because I saw some video that they stopped this construction site in Florida.
I saw that, yeah.
And the foreman was telling all the workers that you can no longer work unless you're verified by the E-Verify system.
So you have to fire everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better business.
But that's kind of bad too because if
Yeah.
you don't find a way to get them out, they're gonna want to steal because they have no money. So you're also creating a problem with that. Because if you have a lot of people that are there now, can't work, and they're not gonna go back, they're gonna try to find a way to get money. They're gonna start cutting drugs.
Yeah, but
like
that's only gonna happen in big cities, and so the people who aren't in those humongous cities aren't gonna feel really the effects of it because people who are illegal and don't have papers, they go to the big cities to work because there's a lot more work there.
Yeah.
So
I
big
don't
cities,
mind them coming in. It's just
just come in legally.
that, and it's the generation of immigrants. Because your parents, my grandparents, they got here, they busted their butts to work. They get here, no joke. I've had people, like my first 2-3 weeks at the airport, this guy comes up. He's like, where do I get the free money that Biden promised me? And I'm like, so they come here wanting things given to them. But if they came here with a different mentality, hey, I'm going to come work my butt off. You know, where can I get a job? We're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Like Joel.
I'm all for that, you know?
Or Tio Jorge's Joel. Look at him. He has no papers. Look at where he's at now.
We're naming names.
Well, no one knows our cousin. Oh, he's not going to listen.
Like, remember that formula shortage?
Uh huh.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. Biden make sure that they had 2 pallets of formula delivered every day. Meanwhile, my aunt had to pay at least $50 in shipping to get formula shipped from California because it wasn't in stock here. But the illegals had it.
It's kind of crazy, right? Because you see that same type of catering to Zelensky. There's this meme that I saw on Twitter that Tom Cruise was the highest paid actor in 2022, and then in the bottom it says, "No, you're wrong. Zelensky was the highest paid actor. He got $18 billion or $118 billion, something like that. Because man, all the money's going over there.
America last.
You know, here we're struggling.
I don't know if you saw,
prices.
but Chicago, the residents of Chicago, they're all mad because a bunch of illegals are being busted over there. So they're all mad because they're like, y'all ain't putting the black community first. You're putting the illegals first. They don't even live here. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, Chicago, look who you voted for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally voted for a mayor that excused the riot violence. Like, oh, well, look at how our situation is. I can't blame these kids for doing what they're doing. Like, whoa, bro. Like, you voted for that. The city voted for that.
That's what they get. You gotta live with it.
It just seems like the Bible's coming true, right? When it says, at the end, tribe is gonna fight tribe, and then the right's gonna be with the wrong's gonna be right, and the wrong's gonna be.
Did y'all see the Trump thing with CNN, the town hall,
Yeah.
where he kept trying to bring up Chicago? Oh, well, like if you're about all this violence and this stuff, well, look at Chicago. It's the and then she right away, like, trying to change the subject because they don't want to talk about that. They only want to talk about whatever's gonna give them clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Click.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy, right? Because you go to work every day, and you probably see it more because you work at the airport. But me going to work, I don't deal with any of that stuff. And for me, it's just like computer stuff, and so I don't think anything. Whenever I see any of these news, it's just because I watch videos or whatever of the news. But it doesn't really affect me, like as far as my everyday life and going to work.
And I'm not the only one. I know other people there at the airport when all this started. We all noticed that we started to like immigrants less and less and less every single day. When I first started, it was just a couple, maybe 10, 15 deportees going through. Okay, cool. And then it started getting more and more and more and more and more.
I don't know. Are they like deporting them back, or you mean they're
At first, it was a
taking
good chunk of deportees being escorted by ICE.
them-
You know, but now it's the people, the illegals that are crossing from
Mhm.
Brownsville get to here to San Antonio. Most of them that are waiting in the lobby don't have a plane ticket. They're literally just waiting. They're literally living there at this point.
And they can't tell them to leave.
It's a public spot. They can't.
Mm.
So you know what the city's doing?
What?
They have Catholic Charities. They gave them a set spot there at the airport, so they're being fed 3 meals a day, right? The illegals complain about not having enough charging ports, so the city bought this whole charging station for the illegals to charge their phones in. They complained about being cold, so they have a blanket station.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we're over here struggling. Bring down inflation and what?
And they get everything for free.
Yeah, we can't even buy milk and eggs. $5 for a dozen.
Even though it's hard for us, I could just imagine the other people that are making less than us and have a family. You know what I mean? I feel like we're struggling, but just imagine those other people.
Yeah, we should identify as illegal.
For real.
I told them, let's go to Mexico and renounce our citizenship and then come back.
Probably can help.
Then they'll give us hope.
I think for us it do have a little bit better. We see it and we're frustrated because we know we're working hard to go to work every day and we work for what we have. And then for our tax dollars to just go to people who aren't even trying, they just want all the free stuff, like according to what you just said. They just want the free stuff. They come here because the government told them they can come and they will receive something, whether that be money, benefits, whatever. But they don't know that they actually cannot give them any of that.
But they're here waiting.
Yeah, and so then they get counted in the census, and then those border towns. I think what Abbott is doing is good, as he's transporting them to these.
Did you see he transported more to Harris's front yard?
Yeah, I mean, if it's already a blue state, well, might as well get some more blue people.
Yeah.
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 It just depends your attitude. I know what you're talking about. I seen them on the news. Some come like they want to work, and those are the ones you see like, man, I'm gonna here to work, and then you find some other people that are like, well, they said they were gonna give us this, or I don't understand why they're not doing this to us, or why they're not giving us this, and you're like, bro, you're coming from a different country. You're acting like they're supposed to give you anything. Like if we go to Mexico, it's like me going to Mexico and asking, what, you're supposed to give me this for free, this and this and that, and you know what I mean? You go there, they're gonna be laughing at you, but yet everybody comes here thinking that you can get everything for free.
Yeah, but that's not us. It's the government that tells them. If Trump was still president, this wouldn't be happening.
Oh, heck no.
Nope.
See, but people voted for this guy, you know?
They wanted.
And this is what they get. And so they don't want those illegal people, immigrants coming to their front lawn. Will stop having the border open.
Yeah. But I think it's just gonna get worse. If
Yeah,
this
of
is getting
course.
to the end, like where like God says, if this is actually being the end, there's all you can do is just pray and just get people to God, because other than that, it's gonna get worse.
There's this video I sent it to Abraham of some Venezuelan immigrants rapping and mocking the U.S. Border Patrol.
Of course. Well, yeah, I mean, that's been my FUD report.
Cool.
Yeah, any other last words, thoughts, concerns?
We'll be taking a 1 week break from the FUD
You
report.
can plug in your socials if you want. All right, man. Anything else?
No, for today that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and if this ever makes it out into the podcast world, we will probably have an email that you can email to and email your suggestions or topics.
Or complaints.
Or complaints.
More complaints.
We won't read them though, if they're complaint.
And
They
if you're
will-
from the future,
Huh?
send it as an emergency.
You good, Manuel?
Or if you're from the past,
Let's just go.
or you're one of these people that live forever, let us know.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. Well, lady and gents.
Did you
We,
assume her gender?
Oh, yeah.
God.
Are you going to cancel me? This podcast is canceled now.
Yes.
Before
Try
you even
again.
made it off the ground, it's canceled. Wow. So, yeah, that's been on the episode here, Church Culture, where we talk religion and politics, the most controversial topics of today. Thank you, Manny, for joining us once again. You're probably a host now instead of a guest,
Yeah.
but
Welcome to the
You're a
FUD
host.
report. We need t-shirts.
No, we don't.
oh god,
Calm down.
that probably cost so much money, and yeah,
Just for 4. We do
Yep.
need an Instagram though.
No, we don't.
y'all
calm
can run it.
down.
I don't want it. I don't want Instagram.
We don't need one, Papa. Stop. I don't want this to be.
We'll have an email maybe.
Yeah, like
I'll
a
probably make an
newsletter.
email. Not even that. That takes
Oh.
work. We'll think about it. We'll vote for the Instagram or Twitter
Nah.
or whatever.
Nah.
Do
Or
the
maybe, or
Twitter.
maybe a Facebook page.
You
Nah.
do the Twitter, Abraham.
Just do a website.
That's even worse.
That's worse. That's
Is
more
it?
work.
a
Yeah.
lot. more
Oh.
work.
Email them.
We'll start off with the email. We'll put Manuel's email address.
Nah. For every 10,000 subscribers, we'll start a new social media.
Yeah.
Then we hit another one, we'll start another one.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Hey.